My name is Brian, and today I'm going to tell you a real story about my friend. It's about the biggest mistake I ever made, judging someone before I knew them. I still feel bad about it even now. It started back in 10th grade at Lincoln High. I was new, feeling nervous, and trying to fit in. That's when I first saw Mike. He sat alone at lunch every single day. He wore these big, dark hoodies even when it was warm. His hair was messy, always falling in his eyes. He never talked to anyone, just kept his head down. I remember thinking he looked strange, maybe even a bit scary. I decided to stay away. One day, I was struggling with my locker combination. Books spilled everywhere, right at Mike's feet. He didn't say anything. He just knelt down, gathered my stuff silently, and handed it back. I mumbled thanks, but he just nodded and walked off. I thought he was rude. Why didn't he talk? I judged him harshly in my mind. Our English teacher, Mrs. Peterson, assigned group projects. Guess who got paired with me? Mike. I groaned inside. How would this quiet, weird guy contribute? We met at the library after school. It was awkward at first. I tried to make small talk. He gave short answers. I started planning, feeling like I was doing all the work. Then I got stuck on the main theme of our book. I sighed loudly, frustrated. Mike looked up. It's about isolation, he said quietly. His voice was soft but clear. He explained his thoughts, pointing to specific passages. It was brilliant, way deeper than anything I'd thought of. I was shocked. He wasn't stupid or rude. He was just quiet. Slowly, we started talking more during our project meetings. I learned he loved drawing intricate comic book characters. He showed me some sketches in his notebook. They were amazing, full of detail and life. He loved old sci-fi movies and playing strategy video games. He wasn't scary at all. He was actually really interesting. I felt like an idiot for my first impression. We started hanging out beyond the project. We'd go to the comic book store on Saturdays. We'd play video games at his house. His mom, Susan, was really kind, always offering snacks. His house felt warm and welcoming, not dark like his hoodie suggested. I met his little sister, Lily, who adored him. He was patient and funny with her. Mike became my closest friend. He was the best listener. If I had a problem with my parents or school, he'd just listen, really listen. He didn't always offer advice, but he made you feel heard. He helped me study for math, his best subject, without ever making me feel dumb. He had this quiet strength about him. Then Mike got sick. It started with headaches, then dizziness. He missed a week of school. I visited him at home. He looked pale but tried to joke about it. His mom looked worried. Doctors ran tests. The news wasn't good. They found a tumor. Brain cancer. The words hit me like a physical blow. This strong, quiet guy was suddenly so fragile. Treatment started fast. Chemo. Radiation. Mike lost his hair. He got thinner. But he rarely complained. He still tried to draw, though his hands shook sometimes. He still talked about games he wanted to play when he got better. I visited him in the hospital often. We'd watch those old sci-fi movies on his laptop. The silence between us wasn't awkward anymore. It was comfortable. Understood. One rainy Tuesday, his mom called me. Her voice was thick with tears. Brian. Mike's gone. Last night. It was peaceful. The phone slipped from my hand. It felt impossible. He was fighting so hard. He was supposed to get better. The world felt suddenly cold and empty. At the funeral, I saw people I didn't know, neighbors, distant relatives, even some quiet kids from school I'd ignored. They all shared stories. How Mike helped fix a neighbor's fence without being asked. How he anonymously left drawings for a lonely kid in his art class. How he volunteered at the animal shelter. Story after story painted a picture of a kind, generous soul who worked quietly in the background. Standing there, listening, the regret washed over me like a wave. I remembered my first thoughts about him. Strange. Scary. Rude. I had judged him entirely by his cover, the hoodie, the silence, the messy hair. I had dismissed him without a second thought. I had been so arrogant, so stupid, and I almost missed out on knowing the most incredible person because of it. The guilt was crushing. If I hadn't been forced into that project, would I ever have known him? Would I have just kept walking past his lonely lunch table, thinking unkind things? The thought made me sick. I had wasted those first few weeks being prejudiced. Time I could have spent being his friend. Mike taught me more in the short time I knew him than anyone else. He taught me about quiet strength, about kindness without expectation, about looking deeper. He showed me the amazing stories hidden behind quiet exteriors. He was a beautiful, complex book, and I almost didn't open the cover because I didn't like the jacket. I regret it every single day. Judging Mike based on how he looked was my biggest mistake. It's a lesson etched into my heart now, deeper than any scar. Never assume you know someone's story from the outside. You might miss meeting the very best part of your own story. Like I almost missed Mike. My quiet, brave, wonderful friend. I miss him terribly.